Hey there, welcome to the Weeb Lounge. I'm Nick, and this is episode 8 of Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. And the princess isn't getting very good sleep or anything, and this is because she's having a nightmare. A nightmare that was brought on by the hero. All right, this was one of my favorite episodes. That is probably the best so far. Probably one of the best so far. It opens up with one of the hero's fellows or whatever trying to cast a new spell, and the spell's supposed to be a wormhole, one that'll get them to the demon castle a lot quicker, directly to the princess. Well, this spell depends on the princess's mood. The better mood that she's in, the better the spell's going to work. And also close range or whatever. They need to make this portal pretty big. And right now, they can only get it to about the size where you can stick a hand through or whatever. And that's it. But the thing is, the spell is linked to the princess's crown. And the jewel on the crown senses the mood. And this crown is currently held by old Scissorhand guy. So yeah, it's not the princess's feelings, it's the scissor guy's feelings, and apparently he's rather content seeing the princess all peaceful and sleeping and stuff, whatever. But anyways, they open up this portal and the hero's like sticking a hand through there, like poking something. He's like, I don't know, what is this? I don't know what this is. It's kind of weird. He's poking the princess's head, just like poke, 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 just like. And what this does is, one, it annoys the hell out of her, but two, it gives her a nightmare. This nightmare is about the hero himself. Okay, so the princess is like, well, I heard that if you talk about a nightmare or whatever, it'll make you feel better. So she walks into the demon lord's meeting room when they're plotting strategy to fight the hero. Apparently, the fire volcano demon guy, it's his turn to go fight the hero and stuff. So they're kind of preparing for that, but she just barges in. She's like, hey, I need to tell you guys about my nightmare. And, they try to interrupt her and be like, hey, we're kind of having a meeting and everything. It's like, no, she's going to tell her story. Don't matter. The story's about her childhood, and her childhood with this guy, D, what's it, or something. They just D something. They can't remember her name. So, his name. And it's this overly excited, energetic kid who apparently, obviously has a thing for the princess or whatever, like, a little crush or something back then. And one time he brings her a big old bouquet of flowers or roses and everything, and he trips and throws them in her face, and all the thorns stick in the face, and the bee starts circulating around, and the kid, to protect the princess, grabs the bee and eats it. Apparently it was sweet. Who the hell eats a bee? It's going to sting you in the mouth, right? If you're allergic to a bee and you swallow a bee and the bee stings you in the mouth, you dead. Okay, so something ain't gonna work out for you. Don't eat bees. Oh, don't eat bees. Just don't eat bees. Stick to the honey. The honey's fine. Don't eat bees. Well, anyways, in this dream, they're a couple of little antics and everything, and one of them they're walking through a forest, and this kid, D, what's it, whoever, and goes walking through, and the princess, this guy apparently doesn't leave much to the memory or whatever. She doesn't remember him. Has no idea. It's just like forgettable person, right? Walking through the mountains, and he's like, the kid's caught in a trap or something. He's head first in the dirt or whatever, and she's wandering around and just kind of just doing her own thing, really. Heads up to the peak of this hill or wherever it was, sees this little, it looks like a tombstone. It's just statue or info. I don't know what it is. She gets up there and like the kid's nowhere to be found. She's like, all right, I'll just head back. And, it doesn't tell anybody that the kid's missing. The kid's missing for months. Just slipped her mind because it's pretty obvious that if the princess doesn't like really care or anything for something, she doesn't even memorize it. Maybe that's why I can't remember names very well. That's kind of bad. I'm going to have to fix that. But yeah, so, like 3 months later, the kid apparently made his way down the mountains, and he's like, Princess, are you okay? It's like, oh my God, you dumbass. Oh, that's whatever, and it's obvious who this is. Okay, for whatever reason, nobody can put two and two together, right? But, the priest demon guy, he finally realizes, wait a minute, name starts with D, it's D who hoots it or whatever, and the hero's name is Donner, D with the thing, same hair, it's the hero. And apparently this kid slash Donner slash the hero is supposed to be the princess's fiance, which also gives, the demons a few gasps because, fiance, princess, I don't see it. I don't. She's going to be too busy asleep. There's no time for a relationship. It's just sleep. Yeah, Donner ain't going to get nothing. he ain't going to get nothing. Okay, well, that's kind of one thing or whatever, but the next thing is she has to deal with a cavity. She can't fall asleep. Her mouth is in pain, and that's the worst thing of all or whatever. You got so much pain or whatever, you can't have a good night's sleep or whatever. So this is tragic. This is she thinks she's going to die because no sleep and pain. Oh my God, I've had many nights like that. Yeah, I can't sleep for nothing. I wish I could sleep as good as the princess. That'd be great. That'd be wonderful. But anyways, they have a demon dentist who apparently has like the hair and the tail of a rooster for some reason. So it's the rooster demon dentist. Kinda. Yeah. Okay, well, they haul her into this area and she won't let anybody look in her mouth. It's like, okay, well, if I understand being apprehensive with the dentist and everything. Everybody is kind of like that, right? And she doesn't want anybody looking in her mouth, but she just won't open her freaking mouth. And, it's like, you can't look. But eventually they get it to where, well, I'll let the teddy demon look or whatever. But it's like this phobia. It's like an absolute phobia. She won't let anyone look in her mouth. It's not because of the tooth or because of the pain. She don't want anybody looking in there. Why? Well, rumors start circulating through the castle once again, and the demons are like she has a terminal illness. She's going to die. One of them thinks her head exploded and she's near death or something. It's all this crazy stuff. So where the dentist chair is, okay, if you've seen any like hospital dramas or ER or whatever, that there's like these classroom type surgery centers or whatever where the surgeon and everything there's the table, the bed or whatever in the center, all the equipment around that, and up above you can look down and watch as the operation unfolds or whatever. It's kind of like a live classroom. It's that setting in the castle, but instead of it being like a classroom or whatever, all the demons they're cheering around, they're rooting for her safety and all this stuff. They don't want her to die. It's a cavity, for crying out. Never mind. Okay, well, eventually, it took like 8 hours. 8 hours to fix a cavity. It doesn't take that long. I've had many cavities filled. Okay, I've had many. I'm ashamed to say that, but I think it was over 14, so bad. Ooh, yeah, that was not a good day. It took many, many hours, and it felt like I just got out of a boxing ring when they were done and everything. But I felt better. Give it that. So they finally, after 8 freaking hours, they fix her cavity. She feels better. And it turns out her phobia was that her tongue is apparently a little shorter on average. Let that sink in for a second. Her tongue is a little shorter on average. Who cares? That is a non-issue. It's like, okay, your tongue's a little short. What you going to do with that mouth? I mean, we're not looking at it in this direction, are we? And then it's still a non-issue. Whatever. And she's happy that it doesn't seem like anybody noticed. It's not that nobody noticed. It's that nobody cares. Nobody saw any difference in anything. That is like that's a weird phobia. That's a weird self-conscious thing. Okay, all right, the cavity's fixed, but one thing I gotta mention is that there was a character named QB who kind of poked her head in during this scene, while she's, getting operated on, I guess. And it's like almost like a little succubus girl or something, right? Right? And she just kind of pokes out her head, and she pops her name up, and she was like, oh, that's the princess. She's so popular, And that's all you see of her. But one thing I'm pretty sure of is that this character is definitely going to be, if not in the next episode, she's going to be a bigger character later on. I want to say she becomes like a companion of the princess at some point here, if I was reading into a few things. Now, the next part. Okay, I mentioned earlier that the hero and the volcano fire demon guy, they're about to have an epic battle, okay? He's up next. The volcano demon got to go against the hero. And it turned into this epic 3-day, 3-night battle to the death. And yeah, the volcano demon was going to win. I mean, it was that close. But what happened? Well, the volcano demon, he brought, a few items with him, right? So, some things to help him out. One was a big old bag of high potions, whatever, to get his health back and his stamina back, right? Whole bunch of them. It's like 2 dozen of the damn things, right? They were all empty. All of them. Then somebody just put like recycled bottles in this bag or something. Here you go, demon. Well, Princess is kind of at fault for this one, right? Because, she drinks those high potions, those healing potions, like, I would drink a Red Bull. Okay, I go through too many of those. Way too many of those. They're not healthy. Unless you put it with, that's even worse. But, yeah, stop drinking energy drinks, guys. It can be bad for you. Moderation. They still taste good. I ain't gonna lie. But, yeah, that's one thing. So he couldn't really get his stamina or his health back. Now, there's a few other things that happen, like, let's see, a grimoire. There's supposed to be a grimoire in there that's going to, like, give this guy a little extra power or something, right? And he busts it open, and it's a How to Sleep Better book. Yeah, this wasn't the princess's fault, though. But she's scapegoated. She is scapegoated. Old wolf guy or whatever apparently confiscated this book from her and saw this stupid grimoire on the counter. Is like, here, read this instead. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish with that, but it's wolf guy's fault. Grimoire gone, and now happy sleepy bedtime book is there. It's yeah. And then there's the robot. Now, remember in a previous episode here, we had this big old ugly looking princess kind of robot thing. It's supposed to be fierce and deadly and stuff. And, well, he busts out the robot, and it's the same size as the princess. A little bitty thing, just kind of bouncing around, just whatever. It does nothing. It's not frightening. It's not terrifying. It's not even armed or anything. It's just like an automaton, mindless, just kind of, yay, dance around in a circle, and that's all it's going to do. That's it. Who's responsible for this one? That would be the Demon Lord. He screwed up. The Demon Lord's sitting there admiring this big creation that he made, and then the princess showed up, and the princess isn't very happy with it. It's ugly. It's not the right size, and blah, blah, blah. And the Demon Lord, he caves. He's like, okay, I'll make a new one. And he makes one, and he gets into making this robot to be like so close to her or whatever, he forgets that it's supposed to be a weapon. It's not a weapon anymore. It's just a thing with a button. And you can't forget about the grenades. Okay, the guy brought a bag of grenades just to blow up the hero, just chuck them at him, fragments, whatever. He opens up the bag of grenades, avocados. Avocados. I've never had an avocado in my life. I kind of want to try them, but not like this. Not like this. Okay, the plant girl, another one of the demons. The plant girl. I have like nicknames for him because I can't remember the name, but just go with me. She saw this bag of grenades sitting there, and it's like, well, this is kind of sitting really close to the princess or whatever. We don't want the princess messing with it. They're literally sitting on podiums, like all these weapons and items and stuff, sitting on podiums that says, for the big fight upcoming or whatever. And it's like, it's stupid. It's stupid. You put them under lock and key behind a safe somewhere where the princess ain't going to get it. Princess will get anywhere. It probably don't matter, but yeah. Okay, well, instead of grenades, you got avocados. At least you can have good lunch, I guess, or something, if you have anything to go with them. I mean, imagine, start throwing the avocados at the hero. Maybe he's allergic. Fuck it. Oh my God. Okay, but the high potion thing was the princess's fault, right? But all these other ones, each of the demons did something, and they were like, "Oh, we're blaming the princess. Oh, we're blaming this." false accusations and used as a scapegoat all day in this one. It wasn't even the princess is just sitting in her cell reading a book or something and falling asleep again. She didn't do much of anything this time around. The high potion one's probably the worst one though, but that is what it is. My God, the way they did this episode, it was just freaking hilarious. So when I saw the avocados, I cracked up. I seriously cracked up because if you're going to replace a grenade with something, avocado, for whatever reason, is like the perfect replacement. It works. Spiny things and stuff. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. My God. I'm hoping the next episode does even better, and also we get QB, the succubus girl or whatever the heck it is she's supposed to be. I know she's a bigger player and such, but yeah, this episode was hilarious. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and you guys will too. So I'll be back when the next episode's. I will see you then.